This video is really about translation process. In other words, how I will be doing a translation of a news item which is published in a newspaper only a couple of days ago, on the 4th of August. I'm going to first go through some of these. This is the item which is in the paper called Despicable Oil or Despicable Oil Sunak Stunt, and this is the also the item which is published on the 4th of the 8th, which is in August. آب في شهر آب الرابع من آب، يعني قبل يومين فقط. شفته I saw it in the paper and I thought maybe it's worthwhile sharing my experience of how I will do the translation, how I will do the process of translation. That will be really useful for you to have a look at. Now here is the article itself. I'm not going to go through page 5 of that article because it's quite a long article. It's going to take a long time. And I've noticed that my viewers or followers or subscribers, they don't spend that much time. They don't like to spend so much time on each video, watching it and learning from it. So I thought I'll make it break it down into a few videos as a series for this particular translation process. Now here is the story. The story starts: security experts and politicians of all parties have condemned a stunt by eco protesters who climbed onto the roof of Rishi Sunak's home and were not stopped for 7 hours in a major security breach. The group, in hard hats, red Greenpeace overalls and carrying ladders, arrived at the £2 million Grade 2 listed North Yorkshire property. That was at 6 a.m. Once 40 feet up, they unfurled a huge oil-black banner. Police only arrived after 8 a.m. The stunt ended at around 1 p.m., 1:15 p.m., and 5 people were later arrested, North Yorkshire Police confirmed. The Prime Minister has just left the UK for a break in California with his wife and 2 daughters aged 12 and 10. Last week, he revealed plans for 100 new licenses to drill for oil and gas in the North Sea. Greenpeace activist Philip Evans said they made sure the family was out and even knocked to announce this is a peaceful protest. But there were no answer. I think this is the completion, but there were no answer, which is completed on page 5. But on page 5 there is quite a lot, and I don't really want to, I just show you, just to make it a little bit more active, show you page 5, just for you to be aware of that, because page 5 is a huge, and I will spend hours on end doing that, so I don't want to do that. That's why I'm just focusing on the first page, and that will be enough. I mean, what is so interesting about the first page is what is called paratextuality. Paratextuality, you have what's called epitext and paratext. Epitext and paratext, I will talk about them, but basically one of them is to do with the caption of a picture that helps the translator, of course, because he says there's no new oil, and there is a caption here: new heights, protest on roof at home of Mr. Sunak left yesterday. Left is meaning that it is on the left side. I'm just going to bring it closer so you can see what I've read just now, which is from PA, which is the agency which has published it. Now, of course, these information, which is the picture, and also the caption of the picture, and also the person, Sunak, Rishi Sunak, and who it is, who is this person. Now, of course, this is a cultural item, and you can see the cultural element in all of this. And also the word left here, and yesterday, left here, it means on the left side, there's a picture. That's what it means. It doesn't mean left that he's left. But this word left can be confused with another word, which is in the actual text itself, the body of the text, when it says the Prime Minister had just left the UK for a break in California with his daughter, and with his wife and daughter. Now that is one problem, one issue. And it's not really a problem as much. It's more of an, that it's very helpful. I mean, the word left is an issue because the word left can mean two things, and here it does mean two things. But this caption helps the translator. This picture as a whole helps the translator. It says 5 people were arrested, and I can see in the picture only 4 who are wearing overalls, red overalls for Greenpeace. And also this banner, black banner, which is not only black, it's the black color of the oil. That's why it's called oil black banner. Oil and black in quotation marks, which means that it is more to do with the fact that it has got the two meanings. The meaning that it's a black, but not only black, but it's oil black. It's as black as the color of oil, you know, the raw oil that you get from petroleum, basically. Okay, so that is really a few things here. Of course, there's more information here, which I didn't rely on, even though that can be considered some part of information. I didn't use that information, so I shouldn't worry about that. Let me just go back now to the actual presentation. Now here, as I said earlier, I have noticed, I would like to actually point out that I have made it into 5 different items. The first item is paratextuality. Second one is Beaugrande and Dressler's text linguistics, in particular cohesion. Then I'll talk a little bit about morphology and how it helps me in my translation. Also the syntax and how it helps, and the Lexis and cultural items like people's names, organization name like Greenpeace, and geographical locations, for example, North Yorkshire, North Sea. You can't say Al-Bahr al-Shimali, North Sea, for example. It will be Bahr al-Shimal. It's a well-known location. And that is to do with the actual knowledge, which is like a cultural package, if you like. Sometimes we could use it. Also, there is an issue of 40 feet up, when they were 40 feet up, these workers, which is 12 meters. Now here, of course, the purpose of the translation is important, because that means that I know who I'm talking about, who will be, you know, who I'm addressing, etc. This is etc., but it's not clear because it's gone in there. But I'm just going to actually fix it here and make sure that you understand what I am actually saying here. Now, because the word etc. is Latin, of course, originally from. So we need to make sure that you can see it as well. So you see, excuse me. See, this is quite an interesting thing that we can look at. I'm just going to actually do some adjustments here for all this, so that you can then know what I am trying to be doing here. Yeah, I'm going to actually make them into an animated piece, so you can actually do that and follow it better. Okay, so as I said, paratextuality first, then Beaugrande and Dressler text linguistics, which is coherence. There will be cohesion as well, but I'm not going to talk about as much in Beaugrande's view, even though cohesion is related to morphology and also to syntax. And this way we have syntax. Of course, we have to put that in capital, the S capitalized, because it's not capitalized. Okay, you know, I mean, these are things that are important to actually highlight, because otherwise, it's not really a good idea not to. So, I mean, that is really one of the things that you will be looking at. We will be looking at all these various points. Now, let me just then, as I've just done that, I'm just going to fix the word S, the S in the syntax, because syntax needs to be capitalized, because the others are capitalized. I've noticed some people, when they are actually, when they are enumerating, or when we have a number of things that you need to mention, you need to make them all capital and should not be small. Some of them small, some of them capital. Either all small or all capital, but not both at the same time. Okay, so now I think, or more or less, it's done now. Okay, so let me just go back to this. All right, so I think we will stop here in terms of the these that I will look at, and then carry on with the next episode of this translation process.